2 weeks in one. Stand by. Hey everybody, I'm James. Welcome back to RATTLECAN Fab Shop. And on this week's What I Did in School, we're doing weeks 11 and 12. It has been slightly insane around here for a number of reasons, but let me get you caught up on what's going on. In Welding and Metal Joining 2, we are starting a new project, and that is a can crusher. Here's the example as hung up in the wall in the facility, and we start out with pieces cut on the water jet. We're doing 16 gauge steel. We're using a ProtoMax, self-contained, standalone. I don't know what nomenclature you want to affixate to it. Runs off the 240, and got to have a drain, so it's okay for what it does. It has a 12 by 12 cutting surface. It says it can cut up to like inch and something. I don't even want to know how many days it would take. We're cutting off. Oh, here you come. We're using a piece of 12 by 12 inch, 16 gauge steel. And this takes 22 minutes to cut this out. I can't even think of what it would take to cut something as thick as they're claiming. I'm not saying it can't do it. I'm just saying you're in that time versus productivity thing. So anyways, we get our parts. The first thing that I do is I take them over and I deburr the edges, because there is a little bit of an edge on the back of the cut pieces. I will say it is pretty darn clean. It's not like coming off a plasma cutter. And then we take them over to the sandblaster and we pummel it with little pieces of sand, and then we start putting it together. The plan calls for a piece of galvanized sheet metal to go back behind the Sinclair Community College logo. I cannot leave well enough alone, so I found a piece of steel in the shop, and I have the leftovers from where I had to do a repair on one of my kids' cars. So the Ford Fusion is known as Ruby. That's what my wife calls her, because she names all her cars. It's a 3-coat process. You have a base coat, you have a top coat, and then you have a clear coat, and it's close-ish to the Sinclair color. I know it's not dead on, but it's close enough for a guy like me. So I've gotten that painted up, did that over the weekend, and so we'll start maybe final assembly on that next week, maybe so. We'll see. And then we start in on aluminum welding with AC. That'll be all kinds of fun, because that's noisy. Math classes. It's just math. We're doing trig, and had a test this week. We'll see how we do. It's the second of 3 tests. I feel less horrified about this one than I did the first one. And then next, laws of sines, laws of cosines, and then that's our final 2 subjects. It's just math. You just sit down and do it. Mechanical drafting in AutoCAD. We're doing this part, and it's just kicking my butt. I can't. I just can't. I can't even build it out of Legos. That's how I can't. Because I've talked about in the past, if there's something I can't visualize, I'll sit down and I'll take Legos and I'll build one, and then I can move it around and kind of understand what's going on. This one, I don't know. So we'll see. We just started dimensioning, and I think next week we go into GD&T, which I'm sure will be all kinds of fun. And in a crossover, I'm using my AutoCAD skills to make a for the guitar channel. If you're not following that, you should follow that, because I'm going to school for guitar building. Big news on that front. Might want to check this week's update, which will probably come out later this afternoon, because I still have to film it. A couple of really cool items. At least I think they're cool. Anyways, I am adapting a tool that I use to make router binding channels. The tool that I'm using is designed for acoustic guitars and their big sweeping curves. I have to adapt it to make parts for an electric guitar, and in order to do that, I am making this set of prints, which is all kinds of fun. So, it's real world experience. Taking the theoretical that you learn in the classroom and actually trying to do something with it. So, that's it. Happy Veterans Day. If you know a veteran, give them a high five, buy them a beer, buy them a cup of coffee. Whatever seems appropriate. If you are a veteran, I appreciate you and what you did, and it doesn't matter where it was, because everybody in the force is integral to the functioning of the force. If you're active duty, keep at it. You may go the distance, you may retire, you may not. Maybe time to get out, and that's okay. Make sure you're up to date on your benefits. Make sure you know your benefits, because that could come in handy later in life. Anyways, that is this week at school. If you have questions about programs, if you're trying to find a program in your area for something similar to what I'm doing, shoot me a line. Maybe I can find you something. I don't know. Anyways, if I can do it, you can do it, because we all know I'm a knucklehead. And you guys have a great weekend. Cheers. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Here's one that you might enjoy as well. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that button, hit the bell next to it so that you get a notification when we drop a new video. If you've got comments, put them down beneath the sermon notes. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers.